Hi, in this quick tip video, we're going to be demonstrating a hidden feature inside of Bake to Control Rig and also Bake to Anim sequence that not many people are aware of, or at least we haven't seen any videos that really teach out this feature inside of Sequencer. So if you right click and you do the standard Bake to Control Rig or Bake to Anim sequence, you'll see this Export Anim sequence settings window here. And from here, if you scroll a little bit down, or we're going to make the window slightly bigger, you'll see that there's this section called include animation names and exclude animation names. And if you hover over them, you'll see that it says include only the animation bones and curves that match this list. So pretty much if you do choose at least one bone or a curve in the include animation list, you will only back solve those bones into your control rig at the end of the day inside of the sequencer. You'll still get keys on all of the controls, but not everything will actually be solved. And if you want exclude bones, you can also add them to the exclusion list down here as well. To kind of show how this works, we're going to click the plus button here, and we're going to add some slots here. And I'm going to just type in some bones that we know do exist on Manny here. So we're going to do pelvis, spine 1, spine 2, spine 3, and let's just add, I guess, 4 as well here as well. So if we do this bake down here with these settings, you'll see that this also doesn't really save presets, but we'll just do this for now, and we'll just hit create, and you can see that we only have animation running on the bones that we defined in our include list. But if you see and we look down here, you'll see that everything is actually still baked down, although most of these things have just the same key value that just gets preserved as they weren't really solved because they were not in the include list. So you can see that if we try to do this process again, we hit active and try to bake again to the same control rig. We scroll down, the list that we just had is already gone. So this is not a very good user experience. So how we kind of solve this with our tool here is we added the ability to add bones included from a list selector here. So we've added our skeleton tree here as well as our curve tree that we can quickly use to populate a list and also save the list. So here what we can do, for example, if we want to select the upper body, and we're going to go from pelvis all the way down to here, and we're going to go to here, and this is roughly our upper body, and we're just going to click this append to selection here, and you can see we have the full list of bones added to our list here for the include. So if we want to preserve this, we can also add this to a new group, and we're going to call this upper body group. And then we're just going to save this. So you can see that these are all the bones in the list that we just added really quickly from the skeleton tree. And we'll hit save. And then we have our group over here. So if we accidentally deleted this list here, we can always just select the group here from the groups tab and repopulate it. Oop, wrong button here. Repopulate it back to our list here. So now that we have the upper body here, we can do the same bake using our tool. You can see that we have the upper body running the animation now. And if we wanted to, we can even get more advanced with our tool here, and we can exclude controls from our base layer. So if we come down to here, let's just delete this really quickly so we have the original setup. So if we scroll down a bit from our tool here, we'll see the control rig section, and we have the option to not bake to all controls if we disable this here, and we can include our own custom controls. So from here, we can also pick from the control tree the specific controls we want to keep in our base layer, but rather than picking from this tree here, which isn't really well representative of the hierarchy, we can also pick directly from sequencer inside the viewport. So what we can do is we can temporarily disable the animation here, and we're going to add on a layered control rig here so that we can pick and choose a set of controls directly from the viewport. So we're going to do a marquee select here, and we're just going to rotate around to make sure that we have all the hand controls, because sometimes we're not grabbing all the controls as needed. And then we are able to come here and use this add sequencer select controls to include controls. So now that we have all the upper body controls here, we're going to purposely exclude the body control. So we can do a search as well and exclude the body control here. So now that we have something set up here, we can save this as a new group here as well. So this is a control group as opposed to a bone group. And then we can save this down. So in case we ever lose this, we can delete it, and then we can add it back again from this group tab here. All right, so now that we have both a included animation names, which is bones and curves, as well as a included control set here as well, we're also checking off remove excluded control channels. So from here, if we just remove this layer and we add our animation sequence back, and we just hit bake, you'll see that we have a new setup now with different sets of things driving the animation. And because we did choose remove excluded control channels from the settings here, you can see that inside of our base layer, we actually only have keys keyed for the specific channels that we picked in our selection set here. So any other control is actually removed completely from the base layer. So you can see here that we have a completely isolated upper body animation that is from body, or there's no body, but there's also this hips control still running here. That's why you can see the legs still wobbling a bit. But you can see that it's fully solved only on the upper body from both the bone perspective to the control rig, as well as the controls perspective as well. So if you're interested in setting up custom workflows like this, do consider using our tool, Qubit Sequence Baker, that's available on Fab. And that's about it for this demo. Thanks.